What's happening, guys? Today I'm starting on the truck build. So I've got the Eclipse pulled in the shop here. I'm gonna get it up on some jack stands and see what all I need to disconnect to pull the motor out. It's my first time pulling a motor out of a car, so wish me luck. Got the car up on jack stands. Before I did that, I went ahead and broke the lug nuts loose. I was a little bit worried when I saw these, but luckily the previous owner left the key for the tuner nuts in the console, so that's always good. Car's jacked up pretty high, plenty of room to get underneath it because I'm gonna have to get down there and pull the exhaust off and all that. So I'm gonna take a bunch of pictures so I can remember where things are and label a few things and start pulling some stuff out. Alright, didn't film much of it, but we got the bumper off, headlights out, hood off, intercooler out, all the intercooler piping, and various other things here and there. Got everything that I took out that I want to use later over here, and then things that are just going to stay with the car when I sell it are going back here. Hanging on to these fog lights too. Maybe I'll find a way to put those on the truck. That's going to be it for now. Tomorrow I'll probably see about the radiator, draining the oil, and then taking the turbo off. But tonight it's already 12:30. I got work in the morning, so this is where I'm going to call it. Overall, not bad for just a couple hours of working on it. Alright, it's the next night, and I'm hoping tonight I can drain the coolant, take the radiator out and coolant hoses, and drain the oil and get the turbo off before going to bed. So we'll see how far we get with that. I also forgot to mention that when I'm taking stuff out, I'm labeling everything so that I can remember where stuff goes. And also when you take bolts off, it's always good to label where they go, because there'd be way too many and I would never remember where all this goes. Got the coolant draining. Got the radiator out. Starting to get a lot of room in here. There it is. Doesn't look too bad, so I'll probably end up using it on the truck. There's all the coolant that came out of it. Next up, I'm going to try and drain the oil. Unfortunately, the oil drain bung is right here, and this is in the way, so I'm going to have to jack this back up so I can move the jack stand and drain the oil real quick. It's a few hours later. Made some pretty good progress. Got pretty much all the front stuff out. Radiator, the AC cooler, and the turbo. Took longer than I thought, but got it done. And as you can see, I'm labeling everything with the Sharpie and this blue tape and keeping it somewhat organized over here, especially the bolts. So it's like 1 in the morning now. I'm gonna go to bed. Tomorrow I need to get a shop back out here, clean this up a bit, and then start on all this mess up here. Not looking forward to that, but gotta get it done. Night number 3 of working on this thing. Don't really have a goal for the night. Definitely going to get the power steering stuff out, get the power steering and AC lines out of the way, and then start working on these lines up here and getting the rest of the engine harness out. And once all that's done, it'll pretty much be ready to pull, but I expect all that may take a couple of nights and only a couple hours a night, and taking time to label everything. But I'll get it done. Also went and picked up a 7/8 O2 sensor socket with the cutout, so you don't have to cut the wire, which is good because I don't want to cut the wire because I want to use this on the truck. You actually are supposed to have a 22 mil, but 7/8 is pretty much the same thing, so hopefully I get away with it. So I got held up by the O2 sensor being stuck and stripped in here, and how I eventually got it off was I just took a grinder out and actually cut it so I could get a socket beat down onto it. Probably the O2 sensor that came with the car, so it's been 35 bucks and replaced it anyways. Not a big deal. And now it's done, so I can move on to other stuff. Decided to go ahead and take the exhaust off next. So we got it off all the hangers and unbolted at the middle. And now there's just the rear O2 sensor. And that one, you can't really see it, but it's actually in pretty good shape. So I'm gonna see if I can take that one off without rounding it off, which means I gotta unplug it, which means we gotta take seats out So I'm in the process of taking all that out so I can take the carpet out. This is something I was going to have to do anyways because I need to take the dash off to get the rest of the wiring harness off. That's what I'm going to call it for tonight. Got some other stuff to do and be back at it tomorrow. Alright, back at it today. Today I need to get everything else disconnected so that tomorrow when Zach comes over we can pull the motor. Should be able to handle it, just need to label everything so I'll know where it goes when I put it in the truck. Alright, it's a few hours later, been busy. As you can see, got all the power steering stuff out, working on getting the lines out. I'm going to leave the brake stuff in if I can. Got most everything out of here. Need to detach a few wires and label them up here, and then I should be able to pull the harness completely out. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I got to figure out what this wire is that goes in here. I'll have to take the dash apart to get to that, but if I do, I do. Alright, so here's where we're at. Got the harness pretty much all disconnected in the engine bay. There's a few small things back there that I can't really reach that I'll get whenever we actually pull the engine. And then went ahead and started on the interior. Got it maybe halfway done. So it's all coming along pretty good. The next thing, Zach's coming over tomorrow and we're gonna pull this engine.